This is Paul. Yeah. That standard? Yes. hmm Yeah, a jury of my peers. Yes. When considered the most plausible, reasonable, foreseeable defense, yeah, that could be raised under the evidence would justify conviction by a reasonable and objective fact finder. Now, should avoid pre-filing agreements or diversions intended to place the accused in a program of treatment. Yeah. 1077s. Ouch. Mm. Restoration laws. Cell hearings. Ouch. Professional persons' opinions. Ouch. Now, obviously, the standard was never enforced. Ouch. And I'm going to ask you to remove all of your frauds. Yeah. And then I'm going to sue every prosecuting attorney. Now, I can go through the 9As. Looks like they're all 44s. Ouch. 9A 64. I provided a link to the 9A actual laws of the state of Washington. Yeah. In fact, if I looked here, ouch, I might have downloaded them. Now let me just look. Except as provided in the subsection of following offenses shall not be prosecuted more than 10 years after their commission. Any felony committed by a public officer if the commission is in connection with the duties of his or her office. Nichols, ouch, elected to the office of prosecuting attorney. Ouch. Breach of your public duty to only prosecute the standard for prosecution. That you do not serve the sheriff of the police departments. Now, that doesn't look like, it is a 9A.44.050. Ouch. 9A.44.040, which that would be rape is reported by law enforcement agency. That might have been one of them. Yes. Now, 9A.40, kidnapping in the first degree. Ouch. Interference with the performance of any governmental function. Right now. Forgery of Heidi Lee Budner. Ouch. Impersonation of Heidi Lee Budnick. Right now. The false accusation. Right now. I'm absolutely sure you're going to prison for at least 2 decades, Nichols. Do you understand? Yeah. Now, for the prosecuting attorney to not use the standard as described and detailed by the state of Washington when prosecuting, you should always have the evidence. Now, forced labor. This is 9A.40.100. Yes. The trafficking, a person is guilty of trafficking. Yes. Now, this is force, fraud, or coercion used in cause a person engage in involuntary servitude. Ouch. Now, Heidi Lee Budnick, Marilyn Van Proy. That one doesn't really fit very good. No. Person entitled to access to the child failed to provide access to the child due to the reasons of a reasonable person. Now, her parental rights as a mother. Right now. To not have her daughter Legina. Yes. Being portrayed or impersonated in a Rotary newsletter. Where my sister had custody of her at the time of the actual Rotary meeting. Did Marilyn allow for Susan Bowers to have custody of her on July 31st, 2015? Involuntary servitude means a condition of servitude in which the victim was forced to work by the use or threat of physical restraint or physical injury. The use of threats of coercion through law or legal process. Did the Sequim Police Department say, right now, Marilyn, you can't talk to Paul? Because if you do, Mike's going to get upset. Yeah. And we're going to have to issue a protection order against you being able to speak to Paul. And if you violate that order, we're going to have Paul arrested for violation of a protection order, anti-harassment order, or any other threat of any order, legal or law process, coercion. Now, let's see here. Intended to cause a person to believe that if the person did not perform such labor or services, that the person or another person would be suffering serious harm or physical restraint. Did you have to conceal Marilee? How about Mikey? The look-alike, Fat Mike. Ouch! That happened to be right now. Now, I would say that you've made Marilyn have to live with Mike. Yeah. And you have used coercion, the threat of law or legal process. Yeah. The use of anti-harassment orders. Yes. And then informing her that she has no rights as an American citizen. I can't believe